Okay, setting up for running. This is for all of your drills and all of your running. So everything starts off at the pelvis. I want you to imagine that your pelvis is a bucket of water filled all the way up to the brim, and any movement of that pelvis, that pelvic bucket, is going to spill water out of it. So if I tip my bucket forward, I spill water out the front. If I tip my bucket back, I spill water out the back. So I want you to practice that to begin with. So hands on your hips, tip water out the front of the bucket, the back of the bucket, the front of the bucket, the back of the bucket, and then I want you to sit in the middle, come into that neutral position. Most of the time when I'm working with people early on, I like to get them to err on the side of tipping water out the back of the bucket, so it's a full posterior tilt of the pelvis. But eventually what we want to get to is a neutral position which sits in the middle, because most people when they start running, they're running in this position, which is anterior tilt. Okay, so the next part is the feet. So I want you to pull your toes up into the top of your shoes, roll up onto the ball of your foot, but only just so your heels are off the ground, not right up here, so close so that any lower and your heels are on the ground. So from here, with our pelvic bucket, we're tipping water out the back of the bucket. Pull your toes up into the top of your shoes, roll up onto the ball of your foot with your heel as close to the ground as possible without touching the ground. And then from there, I want you to pull your rib cage down towards your hips. That's a nice strong position for your core, for all of your drills and all of your running. If we need to, we can put our hands overhead. Typically with our arms, when we're running, we are pretending that we've got sand on our palms, and you're brushing the sand off your palms on your pockets. So your hand comes to the midline of the body, to the sternum here. Don't cross it or it's going to over rotate. Don't go straight back and forward or it's too robotic. You do need some twist. So your hand is going to come to the midsection of the body, to the sternum. If you're sprinting, it's going to come up to chin height, no higher. If you're not sprinting and it's longer distance, you're trying to conserve energy, your hand will only come down to about here. And out the back, the more you drive your elbow up out the back, the more your opposite knee is going to pop up and the faster you're going to go. So with our hands, pretending we've got sand on our palms, brushing the sand off our palms, hands coming to the sternum, to the midline of the body, driving the elbows back. The more you drive your arms up at the front and out the back, the faster you're going to go. The lower, the slower you're going to be, and you're going to be more about conserving energy, okay? When we're doing our drills, if we are getting too much of this extension through the torso like this, I like to bring the hands up overhead, and then from there, pull your rib cage down towards your hips. Okay, so from here, pulling your rib cage down towards your hips, and then maintain that strong core position.